Here we are back at the second movement of the Schumann Quintet. Haven't seen this in a few days. This is not the tempo, I'm just looking for doubles once I'm reinforcing the fingering I decided on. Always this chord A flat, B natural, F. Schumann writes a natural sign. Of course, when you have two notes squished together a second apart, they look a little bit like an ink blob. And you always have to make sure you know which of the accidental notes you're changing. A rule of thumb I usually use is that when those seconds occur, in most instances before the 20th century, it makes the distance greater, usually into an augmented second, rather than makes the distance smaller into a minor second. So my instincts were right in this case. In this case, it's still true, but I get a minor second in the deal anyway, because Schumann happens to want that distance. I have my augmented second here. Okay, I'm going to take all the repeats in this march movement. I think. The chords tend to change on the half bar, which is on the major beat, this being in cut time, and these are big quarter note triplets. So 1, 2, change, 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 change. That makes it easy. I mean, easier. Here, there's been a nice contrary motion. The body loves contrary motion. Afterwards, now we have parallel motion. I'm just putting up a little arrow to indicate where the repeat goes, because sometimes in the heat of battle the eye looks around frenziedly, and especially when there are a lot of repeats, some of which go to the left, some of which go up. In this case, it goes straight up to the top of the page. I'm even going to write top of page, not just for me, but so my page turner doesn't get frantic. Love it. Okay, I'm going to skip on. instructions about last time, hand division, it works. So I congratulate the past version of me on my really good decision. What I hadn't done was made any particular discrimination about my fingering in the right hand. Get this C to the D flat chord, so it's either going to be 4 to 5 to 1 or 3 to 4 to 1. And because I'm going to want to follow through on third finger, I'm going to go 3 to 4, so it's going to be. Interesting. I'm looking for a good fingering for my left hand for this arpeggio. I know what I will end up in. Just looking for a good fingering for the starting note, because, for the starting key. I'm way up here. I want to get down here efficiently. I could use a fingering that just starts me in the arpeggio fingering, in other words, 1 going to 2. But that takes a lot of distance. So what I'm going to end up doing is 5 on the F for the sake of this distance, and then shift into my arpeggio fingering. Same thing with my right hand, where I'll go to 1, and then shift into 4. All right. Same issue here. Probably just use that octave 1, 5 to 1 in the left hand, but then again shift into the arpeggio fingering, 2 in the left hand, 4th in the right hand. Oops. A little sneaky in my left hand, no problem in my right hand, but if I commit, for example, to a nice comfortable third finger, then it's hard to get back in time. Retreat back down the keyboard. 1. I can stick with 3 and then go to 4. I don't like it. I'm not repeating what I'm sure of. I'm experimenting with what I'm not sure of to see how my body responds. So I think I'm going to go to 1 in the left hand. Toss my hand inward. easy to go on. Getting down, the fingering for getting down to the C in the left hand, ideally 5, because I'm on 2 on A flat. 5. I just toss my hands separately. I don't worry about connecting fingering here. It's non-legato anyway. I'm just looking for comfort and an easy transitional fingering. So I'll remind myself of that. Shift my left hand for these big intervals, big chords to 5, even though my hand is not there, because it makes the 3-note chord that much easier to execute. 5, 5, 5. Have a good transition finger to get there, because I've got 3 here, 3, 4, 5, this rather awkward stretch from A flat to F is not my favorite. I can do it, especially if I isolate the 3 from the 4 and 5. That it's easy to remember the numbers 3, 4, 5, it keeps me away from getting committed to either hanging on to the old position or the new position. So 3, 4 brings me out, away from the black notes. 3, 4 white notes, still have to get down there. Do I like that? I'm not crazy about it. Of the skip, ideal would be 5. Am I willing to put up with going 5 and then 4 to the left of my 5? Not sure. I think not. I think skipping to 3rd finger might be my best bet. I'm reminded in cases like this, composers do not write for the convenience of their interpreters. Discovery is every time I make one of those shifts, my partners are holding. That's good. Move, 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 I might need to know this really well. In other words, almost from memory. Yes. Toss. I've said go to 3, 4, but my body is insisting on doing something else. It's going 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. So we'll see if that's its truth. Because it splits the difference. You know what? I let my body win. Never did mark it down. 5, 4, 5, 4. Okay. 4. 4, 5, 5. How about that? I never thought my way to that, but my body insisted. So it's complicated designs and conclusions, then are warranted. And my expression that I use a lot is, the body has a mind of its own. Not the one you normally think of, not the conscious one. Whoops. You're going to remember, I'm going to that arpeggio fingering, so it's going to be a 1 in the left hand when I go back and on the repeat. 1. Okay. Second ending. It's interesting how there's different kinds of motions. When it's 3 and 2, the thumbs come sooner, then it immediately goes to parallel motion. I should be able to go 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3. That's just really awkward from my hand. Too thick a finger. I twist a little. So it's easier for me to shift to 2. Or I could go 2, 3 to 4, 2. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that's one of those instances where the unique characteristics of your anatomy have to be taken into consideration. I'm going to do 3, 2 because it's infinitely more comfortable for me. Not here necessarily, but continuing. And then I have to make adjustments because I need a different transition. Yes. So, to get out of that, I need 1 on A here, flat A flat. 1. I'm playing too fast here anyway. How did I remember that? Well, because when I have this melody, this wonderful, ominous melody, I found that I was playing it much too tritely, much too quickly. Here the new hand divisions I've made. Unfortunately, I didn't mark them all. To check my tape, but I'm thinking that that's 3 notes in the left and then the rest in the right. Doing weird things. My body is doing one thing. In this case, it's Schumann's grouping, I think. At least it's left hand, right hand. I wrote this. I see why. I don't like this. I'll stick with my recent decision and see what happens. marked it a few times, I'd know I was talking about it. But I'm going to be a little redundant. Redundancy is worth it here. A real quick graphical reminder. So even you'll always know what to expect. Now I remember the next measure I marked is 4-note G minor chord in the right hand. I had the same chord in the left hand here. Sorry, preceding measure, but I didn't do that and I didn't mark it. Surprise me by coming up with a comfort level that requires me to redivide this yet again. After all, it's all about being able to be confident, in command of your material so you can make the most beautiful music. The easiest. Oh yes. Peculiar fingering written in. That makes no sense, but I didn't graphically mark it out properly or clearly enough. Experimenting with what fingers to use. 3, 2, 2, 1. The thing I like about 2, 1 is I can use it in both hands. Feel that sense of movement into the keyboard. If I want to go from 1 to here, then I have to go something like 3-2 in the left hand.